So salmon are a non-native species, right? They were brought here as a fishing opportunity. So they aren't necessarily part of what have been our old ecosystem, but they are definitely part of our ecosystem now. And they fit into our food webs, and we're helping the kids understand how, our native species interact with non-native species and interact with all the invasive species that are in the Great Lakes, how we help to get rid of invasive species or prevent invasive species, so that they can be part of the big picture. Because it's hard to understand what's happening under the lake, where you can go out in a park like this and you see squirrels and you see deer and birds, and it's so much easier to connect with the things above land. So when you're underwater, it's great to have a nice charismatic fish that they can raise in their classroom to build those connections to something that they have never seen.
So my students, these are our nature trails back over here, have been out here actually quite a bit. We have pulled garlic mustard, and currently they're out there clipping another invasive species that they actually cleared out 100 trailers full a couple years ago of. So we've been doing a lot of work, and she's actually helping my students learn how to identify them and teaching them the proper way to get rid of them. The garlic mustard we pulled, kids had to pull the whole root out, and they learned that it was poisonous at the roots for other plants. And that makes sure not to shake the flowers in order to get the seeds out. And we had to put them in trash bags so that they weren't going to disintegrate and grow other places. So my kids have been really working on that.
If we continue to put in nutrients, especially nutrients at changing ratios of nitrogen and phosphorus that run off from land, it's been stimulating these late summer blooms of toxic cyanobacteria. And those can have effects not only on the water quality, because some of them are toxin producers, and they can also shift the food web drastically, because cyanobacteria are not usually good food for zooplankton. So there's some negative effects on the food web and all the way up to the fishes and so on.
Helps them focus because it's hands-on learning. Right now they're pulling samples, they're all trained in what crew job they need to do, and they're pulling their data, and we'll analyze it. You treat them like adults, you treat them like scientists, and they perform like adults and scientists. When we're looking at the data, I can tell you, okay, well, this might impact the waterway this way, or this is going, this gaining stream system, so what's happening in the groundwater here is going to infiltrate there, and I can give you all the numbers, but until they actually get to see it, and then they see, oh, this invertebrate can identify good water, or if I only have this, then we're going to have poor water. Well, then they can start to make inferences of, well, I have this and this. This is an indicator of good water. We must have good water, and that's another thing we do with our rice assessment too.
Absolutely, field experiences help focus them on academic topics. I think coming outside and being able to see all of those different parts and pieces come together. Today we're talking about indicator species, but we're also talking about watershed exploration. And there's no other way that you can tie those disparate ideas together than in field research. And these students will take this experience, and when we get back to the classroom, I know that they'll spend the next 45 minutes asking me follow-up questions like, Avril, what else can we learn about fairy shrimp? And what kind of caddisflies are there in other regions, right? The questions will just keep coming, and that's something that we don't get with classroom learning. It's really something that's unique with field research.